the most trivial of circumstance, I would gladly take a life.
Our journey through the darkness of humanity is one filled with many vile and horrific stories. Today we will cover the monstrous case of Ian Watkins, a Welsh singer imprisoned for, among other things, being a pedophile, responsible for abusing countless victims all over the world. Whether it be from beautiful voices, ability to mesmerize us on the screen, the power of celebrity is one that is undeniable. With the rise of YouTube, TikTok, it has never been easier to taste its poison. Ian Watkins was born July 30th, 1977, to parents Ronald and Elaine Watkins in Merthyr Tydfil, Wales. It is said that Ian had a wholesome childhood. This is a strange aspect of this case, for a troubled childhood is a common factor of the development of the broken. This was not the case for Ian. Early in his life, his father died. His mom would later marry Baptist minister John Davies whenever Watkins was 8. The family moved 15 minutes down the road to nearby Pontypridd, where Watkins would grow up. And being an intelligent young man, Ian never had any trouble with his schooling. He was said to be very charismatic. Making friends was never an issue. He would attend Hawthorne High alongside future bandmate Mike Lewis. He would then continue on to the University of Wales, where he would graduate with honors in a degree of graphic design. Watkins would form his first band with Lewis at the age of 14, calling the band Aftermath. The band would be short-lived, disbanding after 2 years and only 2 live performances. The pair would then form Fleshbind. The band would have a few shows, but like Aftermath, would be short-lived. Watkins would later join Lewis as a drummer in the band Public Disturbance in 1995. Watkins and Gaze would form their own band on the side, which would make its first live debut in May 1997. This band they would call Lost Prophets. In 1998, Watkins would leave Public Disturbance to invest all of his energy into the Lost Prophets. Over the span of 12 years, the band would release a total of 5 albums. These would be The Fake Sound of Progress in 2000, Start Something in 2004, Liberation Transmission in 2006, and The Betrayed 2010, with Weapons in 2012. Over the years, the band would go on a decade-long stretch of touring. Early on, Watkins would claim that he would remain sober in order to be at 100% at every show, but over time it would become apparent to bandmates that something was off with Ian. But no one would imagine how dark his secrets would be.
To kill every man in the world. It's not a personal thing, it's his business.
Yeah, just for business.
Like assassins.
Take care of business.
Watkins would abuse drugs and alcohol, and would be open to those around him about his attraction to his younger friends. Over the years, there would be a number of ex-girlfriends that would make accusations against him, but they would go ignored by the police. One of these girlfriends was Joanne Magellan. She first became involved with Watkins in 2006. After some time, Watkins revealed a video to her showing him with an underage fan. He then would open up more to her about attraction to children. She claims that she first went to the police regarding the matter in 2009, but due to her being a former prostitute, the police would, for the most part, fully disregard her claim. Majelix began to build her own case against Watkins, collecting evidence that she would later use to help bring down the monster.
And he would just tell me about this super flirty 4-year-old, and how can she be super flirty? She's 4 years old. And telling me about all the underage fans that he took the virginity of, and he was proud of it, and how he abused them, and how his favourite video that he had was of a 14-year-old schoolgirl stripping off and saying her name and date of birth to the camera just before he took her virginity, and just all the other vile things that you said he'd done to these fans. And
the most shocking and harrowing child abuse evidence I've ever seen. There is no doubt in my mind that Ian Watkins has exploited his celebrity status in order to abuse young children.
Watkins was charged with engaging in sexual activity with a minor and possession of indecent images of children and extreme animal pornography. These charges were heard at the Cardiff Magistrate Court. On November 26, Watkins would plead guilty to rape, and the prosecution accepted his pleas. He pled guilty to 3 counts of sexual assault involving children, 6 counts in taking, making, or possessing indecent images of children, and 1 count of possessing an extreme pornographic image involving a sex act on an animal. He was sentenced on December 18th to 29 years in prison. Among the many charges, he was also accused of giving illegal drugs to children, such as cocaine and methamphetamines. One incident of sexual abuse involved a fan of Watkins giving her baby to him to be sexually abused. A text message had been sent to the mother saying, "If you belong to me, so does your baby." In Operation Glow, South Wales Police would investigate Watkins. They would use the help of GCHQ in order to decrypt the electronic devices they found at Watkins' home. The password to these electronics would be IF Kids. Among the devices, numerous videos and messages revealed sexual activities with underage fans. While in prison, Watkins would distribute 2 songs of Taylor Swift's online, trying to pass them off as his own. One of the many controversies that has arisen surrounding this case is the one of what to do when it comes to selling the music of the band. Many feel, quite understandably, that a person with such sickening desires should not be able to sell their music. While Ian sits in jail, he's amassing a large amount of money just off of previously published music. Considering his previous acts, we can only imagine the heinous acts the money would be put towards. At the same time, the band is made up of more than just Watkins. It took the hard work and investment of time and energy of countless people in order to make the music that so many have enjoyed. Is it fair to punish those that had nothing to do with these horrific acts? In 2018, Watkins was found with a mobile phone and pleaded not guilty to the offense of the possession of a mobile phone in prison. He claimed that inmates were threatening and extorting him to hide the phone. In August 2019, he was convicted and sentenced to an additional 10 months imprisonment. It is hard for a normal mind to understand how one could commit such horrible acts as the ones we've just discussed. Sadly, it is a daily occurrence around the world. I've watched countless hours trying to see the mask slip on these monsters, hoping to be able to find some obvious sign of the evil that lies beneath. The scary part is some monsters never slip, roaming freely, continuing their paths of destruction, leaving a wake of pain on the innocent lives that cross their paths. Join me in my next video as we continue this journey. Until then, thank you for watching. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know what monster